I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano, along with Josh Rees.
Howdy ho there, neighbors. And yes, I do mean neighbors, because you guys are all our neighbors joining us on this podcast experience.
What are you, Mr. Rogers?
No,
Yeah, you are.
I'm Wilson. I'm Wilson from Home Improvement.
Oh, I thought you were Mr. Hanky.
No.
'Cause you said howdy ho.
No.
Howdy ho.
I said howdy there, neighbors.
You said howdy ho.
Did I ever tell you that I once wrote a script for South Park?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And did they just like wipe their ass with it and send it back to you?
They might have. It had got lost, I'm sure, through the mail. But no, it was a script about Mr. Hanky playing for the Denver Broncos, and that he ended up being the greatest running back in the history of the NFL because no one wanted to tackle a piece of shit.
So stupid.
What? That's stupider than anything else South Park has done?
Yeah.
I thought that would have been amazing. I am shocked to this
Hold on.
day that Matt and Trey never contacted me.
We always find out another like amazingly stupid thing that you've done.
What? That's genius.
You know, like a couple weeks ago, we had the radio thing that we played on here. And that was great. Do you still have this script?
No, I told you it's been lost through the years. I'm sure it never got returned.
If you had this, we could have just done a whole episode of us just doing a read through. That would have been amazing because of how I'm sure it would have been terrible.
No.
The dialogue must have been rough.
It was, I don't remember much about it. I just remember the plot. And the plot was Mr. Hanky was an all-pro running back because no one wanted to tackle a piece of shit. I thought it was amazing. Listen, this was genius ideas from a very young Josh.
And what did you do? You mailed it? You mailed it to them?
Yeah, I mailed it to the Comedy Central studios. And I don't remember where it was. It's so long ago. But Andrew, I've lived so many lives.
Were you a teenager or what?
Yeah, I was in my early teens.
So you thought mailing it to the Comedy Central studios was like doing something?
Yeah,
When in reality it wasn't.
Well, in reality it was not. Yes, I've learned many lessons throughout my life.
How many pages did you write?
They were like 10 pages.
10? That's not enough for an episode.
Listen, I didn't say it was the full episode. I thought they would be impressed that a young scholar would be trying to reach out to them and came up with this amazing idea.
Amazing idea.
I mean, come on. You would laugh. You would have laughed if you had seen this episode, I'm sure. Howdy ho, guys. It's Mr. Hanky.
You can't even do that. Stop it.
Mr. Hanky. Yeah.
Howdy ho.
Yeah, now pretend you're part of the Broncos. Give me the ball, John Elway. And clear the way.
Where am I? What the fuck is going on?
Come on.
Jesus.
You have to admit that would have been an amazing episode.
You know, it's still November. Maybe for like one scene. I don't know if that could stretch an entire episode.
I wish I remembered more about it, to be honest.
That could just be like a throwaway line where they're watching football one day and they're like, oh yeah, Mr. Hanky's the running back. And then that's it. It's like a 5-second joke, not a 30-minute episode.
Well, it was really funny when I was writing it, I recall.
Real? Oh, and who did you show it to?
Well, nobody.
Well, how do you know it's funny?
It was funny to me.
No,
I'm the
that's
market
not how-
audience.
That's not how that.
I'm
That's
the
not how that
market.
works. No.
Well, listen.
I'm the funniest comedian ever. Oh, well, where do you do stand up? Oh, I don't do stand up. Oh, who have you told your jokes to? No one. But I'm the funniest comedian I know.
You've heard some of my stand-up. It is hilarious.
I have?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, Lord. We don't need to get into all this. But yes.
I guess I fucking Men in Blacked it out of my brain. I'm sure it was
I
that
remember
bad.
you laughing. It was hilarious.
Please, just make sure I only forget that. Thank you. That's all I need.
Well, welcome into the show, everybody.
It's not December yet, but it's after Thanksgiving, so might as well be Christmas time. I hope you guys had your turkey and watched Thanksgiving. You know, I actually didn't watch Thanksgiving this year. Very disappointed in myself.
That was the one about the Thanksgiving bird who kills everybody?
It's a turkey.
Turkey. Bird.
Yeah.
Turkey.
It's about an evil turkey.
Okay.
It's excellent. But anyways, that's in the past. It's funny. We were going to do the Knives Out 2 movie.
Still alive.
But then we found out that, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special came out this week. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, shit. Yeah, of course we have to do that. And I was really
James
excited.
Gunn? Of course.
I was really excited to watch it. Not that there's really anything to spoil in this, but, that we save it for later. But, yeah, it was all right.
Well, I mean, it's a holiday special. I don't think you expected it to be the most amazing thing you saw this year, but it was fine.
No, I did not.
Yeah. I mean, it's nowhere near on par the Marvel movies have been released this year, but it's better than She-Hulk.
Anything is better
and
than
it's better than
She-Hulk.
Miss Marvel, so, there is a bar there somewhere.
There were some cringy moments I felt,
We'll get into it.
We will. That's true. But yeah, let's talk the news and rumors, aka the Hollywood hogwash. So last week we were talking about how Chris Hemsworth said on his show Limitless that he might be taking a break from acting. The story that got blown out of proportion.
Right.
Well, he recently told Vanity Fair that the next Thor film will most likely be his last, saying he said it would probably have to close the book and bring Thor's journey to a finale.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Thor's dying.
Well, I mean, look, how else do they do these heroes in Marvel? They love making you cry.
That's true.
I would
That's
hope
very
not,
true.
but yeah, that's usually what they do.
Yeah, it will be kind of interesting because they've kind of brought into this girl who I guess will be taking its place eventually, and of course Valkyrie is there now.
Well, I was
You got
excited
Valkyrie
after
as
Thor
well.
and Love and Thunder. I was like, oh, is he just gonna be Thor forever? Because that's pretty cool. Like finally, an actor is like committed to play this character forever.
That would be cool, but I know I had read stuff where he said he thought it was getting kind of, I don't know if stale's the right word, but he wanted to do some different things with Thor.
Yeah, I mean, look, it can't last forever. That's for sure.
Sure.
So maybe one more should be it. I think I remember either him or Taika Waititi saying like, at the end credits for Thor 4, it said Thor will return. Mm-hmm. And one of them said like, oh, we didn't know that was going to say that.
That's funny.
Because I'm sure they felt like they wrapped up the Thor story fine. Like he lives and he has a daughter that he's going to raise.
Right. The love of his life is now gone. He's on to different things.
But then
now.
Hercules is like, well, I'm going to kill this fuck.
Right. And who knows if that even happens in the next Thor movie anyway.
Well, it has to. How do you can't, Marvel teases something, they follow through with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see. He could just be trying to negotiate.
But, I don't know. We'll like you said, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see what they kind of do with Thor in the next movie.
Yeah. And we also talked about Indiana Jones 5 last week with the whole space Nazis thing. But the director, James Mangold, told Empire Magazine, because we also talked about how some of the movie was going to take place in like what, the 70s or 60s?
Late 60s, I think 69.
Well, James Mangold told Empire Magazine that Harrison Ford was de-aged for the opening scene of the film. So maybe it's just the beginning of the movie takes place
Okay.
in the 60s.
And then the rest of it is maybe current day?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So 80-year-old Indiana Jones. I'm sure he's probably supposed to be like 50 in the movie, but because Harrison Ford still looks young. He certainly doesn't look like he's in his 80s.
Apparently, Harrison Ford said he found it a little bit spooky, which I'm sure is weird, seeing yourself on screen and like, holy shit, who the fuck is that guy? That's you, Harrison?
And it really, for the most part, the de-aging stuff looks bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad. I mean, did you see The Irishman?
No, I didn't see The Irishman.
Holy shit. That was so bad. The de-aging, it was awful. It was it distracted you from the entire movie. I couldn't get over it. Like Robert De Niro in one scene is supposed to be like 18 years old. And it's like, well, no. Like they're trying to de-age him to where he looks 18 years
That's
old.
so young.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking weird. It did not look good.
Well, eventually we're going to have the technology where we can de-age ourselves in like photos and stuff like that. And I'm sure that's going to be creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's what I look like at 18? Terrible. So I can only imagine what he thought.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan, but the space Nazis does sound interesting. I mean, at least to laugh about.
Well, you add space in front of anything and it sounds a little bit interesting, but Nazis, space Nazis, amazing. But I still never seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I have no interest in that. I just it's hard to see a film that you loved growing up and then they do readaptations to it decades later.
You know what I'm thankful
hard
for?
To get into it.
You know what I'm thankful for?
What?
A few days after Thanksgiving is that they never made a Back to the Future 4.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thankful for. Because Back to the Future is like my Indiana Jones, like in terms of like fun adventure movie,
Well, I do
from the 80s.
I do remember Michael J. Fox saying recently, maybe a couple months ago, that he wouldn't mind seeing another Back to the Future, not a Back to the Future 4, but maybe like a reboot.
Yeah.
And then instead of, they would have a girl as the lead cast. And he's like, I'd like to see a different direction.
Fans were hoping for like Tom Holland because he actually kind of seems perfect to play Marty McFly if they were to do the same character. But I think you're right. I think if they did do it, it would probably just be a different story.
And really, I'm fine with Rick and Morty. That's the type of Back to the Future I'm with right now.
Surprised they haven't done that by now. It's still such a popular franchise.
Mm-hmm. Well, eventually they'll get to it, I'm sure. They get to everything.
Unless someone like specifically holds the rights and they're just like, fuck you, I'm not letting you ruin this. I don't know. But I doubt it. That's interesting.
Well, speaking of rights, I had this. I thought it was kind of interesting. So there is not going to be any Namor standalone film, which I think we kind of all thought might be the case.
All right.
But per Wakanda Forever producer Nate Moore, Marvel borrowed Namor and they from
Sony?
No, from Universal.
Oh, Universal.
And they still own the solo rights to the character. Moore said Namor can return, but it won't happen in a solo movie. And their insiders are saying Namor's rights issues are a lot more complicated and confusing than Hulk or Marvel's deal with Sony.
Oh.
So apparently it's a really confusing deal. And they were saying like Namor couldn't even be used in like standalone images to promote the film, which I thought was kind of weird. Is that why they had
to change his name for the fucking movie?
I don't know. Maybe.
What was his name? Cuckoo Kiki?
The Cuckoo Clan or something like that?
Well, that doesn't sound...
No,
that doesn't sound good at all.
But that's how weird it was.
Yeah. Maybe that's why, because he was like, well, my name is Cuckoo Kiki, but sometimes people call me Namor, whatever. Anyways,
right. Yeah.
That must be why they changed his name.
My thing is, and I was thinking about this, like, okay, so you have these cool characters and stuff like that you want to use, but why would you want to use something that's so complicated to deal with all the rights and everything? Doesn't Marvel have enough bad guys that they could reach into?
I don't know. I mean, people want to see these characters. They've done so many.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of hassle to go through.
I mean, they're going to go through the hassle for Spider-Man because it's fucking Spider-Man.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they haven't figured out those rights issues for the Hulk yet, for a standalone
Well,
Hulk
but
film.
if you saw She-Hulk, it sure seems like they're going to fucking do it.
Oh, yeah.
Although I'm so worried about it because, goddamn, She-Hulk was rough and that CGI was rough. And here, this is my son. Oh, my God. What? He looked shit, too.
He did.
Oh, man. So this was interesting. The creators of Bruce Almighty told Sci-Fi Wire that they almost had a third movie called Brucifer, where Jim Carrey's character took on the powers of Satan to resurrect an undead Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, Jesus. That movie sounds like it got canceled by the Christian Rights League.
I feel like this never got past the pitch meeting.
Right. The planning stages.
Pun intended. Yeah, like they're like, hey, so we have an idea. Brucifer, he's going to be Satan. He's going to resurrect Jennifer Aniston. They're like, okay, just get out. Get out right now.
That's pretty funny.
I feel like that's as far as it went. I didn't hear or I didn't read or listen to this entire interview. This is all I have about it. But I find it hard to believe that it got far at all.
Right. We were looking for directors. No one ever came through.
And Jim Carrey doesn't really do sequels. He
Except
did Ace
for
Ven-
Sonic.
Well, that's different. I'm not talking about Sonic. I'm not talking about that. That doesn't count. He did Ace Ventura 2 because it was a shit ton of money. But then they wanted him to do sequels to The Mask. He said no. Dumb and Dumber. He said no. Well, I mean, he eventually did Dumb and Dumber, but that was 30 years later. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it might have been pretty funny. I'm sure it would
Or
have
20 years later. Sorry.
I'm sure it would have been a good comedy, but that premise sounds pretty fucked up.
Sounds pretty dark.
It sounds dark, but I'm sure he would have made it hilarious for some
Like this
reason.
was going to be after Evan Almighty? Like when they went completely PG with the franchise?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I never even saw Evan Almighty. It looked so bad.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I don't remember much of it.
Yeah,
It was probably pretty bland.
It did not look good.
Yeah.
What else you at?
I have, well, we were talking about Satan, so we might as well go straight to horror.
Hoa?
If you liked the horror movie Winnie the Pooh, well, I guess another childhood memory is going to be turned into another horror movie.
Well, wait, is the Winnie the Pooh horror film even out yet?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
So from the people who brought you Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey comes Bambi the Reckoning, according to dreadcentral.com. So this is what they're saying on the website. The film will be an incredibly dark retelling of the 1928 story we all know and love, finding inspiration from the design used in the Netflix The Ritual. Don't know about that. Bambi will be a vicious killing machine that lurks in the wilderness. Prepare for Bambi on rabies.
But the Winnie the Pooh, this is the same people?
Same people.
So they're going to do this with everything.
I guess so.
But wasn't the Winnie the Pooh was just like a guy that dresses up like Winnie the Pooh?
I couldn't tell you.
It wasn't actually Winnie the Pooh?
I couldn't tell you one thing from the movie. But what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a guy. Look, it's a guy in a Winnie the Pooh mask.
Well, this is actually going to be a deer on rabies, apparently. But what?
Winnie the Pooh comes out in February.
No,
it's not out yet.
I thought it said it was out.
No.
I must have got the February's wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
No, what it got me thinking was there was this movie that you had on a couple weeks ago, and was it a llama that was killing everybody?
Yeah, Llamageddon. It's on Amazon.
That made me think of this.
It's not even worth watching, like, to laugh at. It was just terrible.
I was like, is this going to be the same thing? Because that llama kept on trying to kill this weird family.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It was very strange.
So there's Winnie the Pooh holding, like, a horribly, like, just, it doesn't even look real, a decapitated head. That's,
Yeah.
like, the worst makeup ever. I don't know. Look, obviously it's supposed to be a fucking joke. When are they going to do Kermit? I think that would be the best.
A suicidal Kermit or
But if it looked interesting, but I'm looking at the photos of the Winnie the Pooh one, and it just looks lame.
yeah. I'm not interested. I just thought it was kind of funny. And the other thing I have is for fans of Frasier. I'm a big fan of Frasier. However, I did not know the reboot was coming soon. David,
Well, they've been talking about it for years.
I couldn't remember. David Hyde Pierce, who played Niles,
Oh, Niles.
will
Niles.
not be a part of the reboot.
Must you wipe down every seat, Niles?
According to People.com, who did an interview with Kelsey Grammer, the rehearsal for the Paramount.com reboot is scheduled to start in February, and Niles Crane will not be a part of it. This is a quote from Kelsey Grammer. David basically decided he wasn't really interested in repeating the performance of Niles. In a very funny way, it just took us to a new place, which was what we originally wanted to do.
Kill Niles.
I guess so. Which was a Frasier third act. It's an entirely new life for him.
It seems like it's going to be sadder because his father's dead. His brother's not going to be on the show.
Yeah, and the little tiny dog's not going to be around. I love the little tiny dog. He was so cute.
Well,
Eddie.
he can get another dog that looks like Eddie.
I wonder if Daphne's going to be around. Probably not if Niles isn't. I don't remember.
I'm sure she'd probably be down. Yeah, sure.
Did you like Frasier?
Yeah, I wasn't a super fan. I didn't watch every episode or anything like that, but
That was actually, I know you're probably going to laugh at this, but it was one of the things that kind of got me interested in radio.
really?
I was like, I think that radio stuff's kind of cool.
You wanted to give people advice on love?
I did.
Even though you knew nothing about it?
And I guess I still don't know anything about it. But no.
It's a shame Frasier didn't help you.
It's a shame. But no, for so long, I actually did a show kind of like Frasier's, Cleverly show. That was like Frasier almost.
God.
She gave like food advice to everybody, and I was the Roz of the Cleverly show.
Yeah.
But for Cleverly. I
Sure.
thought it was kind of funny. So
Anything else?
that's pretty much all I got this week.
All right, we can get to the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. There wasn't that much in news this week, so yeah. So all right, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Mm-hmm. I thought it would be edgier, like the films, but
sure,
I get it. They wanted to make a kid-friendly thing, even though all these parents took their kids to the Guardians movies anyway.
Yeah.
So I felt like you could have just made it PG-13, but whatever.
This felt like half musical, or maybe even more. Like this is like the beginnings of like a Marvel on Ice almost.
Well, it's a holiday special. I mean, look, when we heard about this, we thought it would basically be a parody of the Star Wars holiday special from the 70s.
Right.
That's what a lot of people thought this was going to be. And it just wasn't.
No.
I mean, it's strictly made for kids. I didn't hate it or anything. I just thought it was kind of okay. And
it was a cute story, but it was nothing like Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, not really. I was just excited to see these characters again. And I guess what is it coming out in May? The next one?
I can't remember.
Guardians 3,
That
something
sounds
like
about
that.
right.
But yeah, I like some stuff. I like the cartoon open with Yondu hating Christmas.
That was fun. The Grinch.
Like, just- yeah.
Of course he's the Grinch.
I hate Christmas. Rah!
And it was kind of sad seeing him again too, because I was like, oh, he's no longer here anymore.
I know.
But it was kind of sad. It was seeing a memory of Peter back in the day.
Michael Rooker, he's great. He is. He was also great in
Underrated.
Walking Dead. Merle.
Yes.
Merle. I think my favorite part was the alien in the beginning. They had that band. Mm-hmm. They were in the credits. The 76s or the 97s or something. 96s. I don't know, but
Sure, whatever.
they were singing about Christmas, and he knew nothing about Christmas, so he was just butchering all the details. And
And Peter kept trying to get away.
Quill was just like, "No, he doesn't do that."
That's right.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That was good.
And then I got when Drax and Mantis were flying to Earth, they played the SNL Christmas song that Horatio Sands, Jimmy Fallon, Chris Kattan, and Tracy Morgan performed on SNL like over 20 years ago. But it wasn't Horatio Sands singing it. It was some other musician, but I was just like, oh my God, that's the SNL song. That's hilarious.
Do you think it was the same guys who were singing the song in the beginning?
No, it wasn't. I looked it up. I didn't know who the person was, so I didn't write it down or anything like that.
Okay.
It's not really that important. I just thought it was interesting that they put that song in there.
No, it was interesting. I thought it was also kind of interesting that that all this took place on nowhere, which I guess I thought was destroyed. Well, I guess it wasn't destroyed. Of course, it was destroyed in in not Endgame,
Infinity War.
in Infinity War. Yeah, so it was kind of cool seeing Nowhere, and you got to see Cosmo the dog. Cosmo the dog was a new character. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah. It has a
telekinesis,
right,
and it could talk too. That was kind of weird. It was
I
kind of
thought
fun.
Mantis, like being super angry the entire time, felt out of character for her.
I think it was because she was drunk. Maybe she doesn't
maybe.
handle her liquor too well.
Yeah, like a lot of the jokes her and Drax were doing, I felt like they fell flat.
Yeah, this essentially was like a Drax and Mantis like a story, pretty much.
Right.
It barely had any Peter Quill.
Yeah, it's true. And like the whole, like, you know, they get Kevin Bacon fairly easily, and like the whole, oh, he's not really a hero because Peter told us he was a hero. Oh, he's an actor. Oh, actors suck.
That seemed a little bit too meta.
That whole thing's just overdone.
It's very forced.
Like, oh, he's an actor. Oh God, I hate actors.
He must be a
Ugh.
douchebag.
And I thought Kevin Bacon would be more interesting. Maybe some inside jokes, because technically he played a Marvel villain. I mean, he was a villain in X-Men First Class.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the main villain in First Class.
I guess I didn't see First Class.
Well, you should see First Class.
Okay.
I thought Kevin Bacon would be more interesting. Didn't need to hear him singing at the end.
It was like the only way you could get Kevin Bacon is if he gets to sing.
Right, because every actor wants to be a fucking rock star. So yeah, it's true. They suck. Actors
Just
suck.
That's right.
Like, it would be one thing if he sang and they're like, God, he sucks at singing. Fucking actors, you know?
Yeah. This is like what's the New York Knicks owner who has a band, and like all the like players have to come see his band every once in a while.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yeah.
He's the reason why I'm not a Knicks fan anymore. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of skipping to the end here because I didn't write down any of the jokes because they just weren't really that
There
good.
wasn't that many jokes, to be honest. I mean, this was lighthearted and fun, but this wasn't like funny.
It was kind of just like Mantis yelling at Drax for like 20 minutes in the middle of the special or whatever, you know?
Sure.
They beat up some cops. They flip some cop cars or
They
whatever.
get mistaken for cosplayers. People
Yeah.
are paying them on the streets and stuff like that.
Well, if you do that in LA, yeah, like people will take your picture, but they won't just give you money. That's not how that works.
No, they ask you for money.
Yeah. They go, hey, you want a picture? Okay, cool. Click. That'd be $50. What? All right. You have 10? Okay, fine. That's how it works there. But yeah, at the end, when they go back to Nowhere and they put up all the Christmas lights and they give each other presents, Nebula gave Rocket Bucky's arm.
Yeah, that was kind of confusing.
Is that just going to be like a cartoon moment where it's never explained, or are they actually going to try to explain this?
right? I have a new arm now, so I let go of my old arm. Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Did he get a new arm?
I don't remember because the Wakandans had his arm
Yeah.
and they gave it back to him.
But they gave him a new arm.
Did they give him a new one?
The Wakandas gave him a new arm.
Okay,
But then that's when Rocket was like, oh, get that arm.
yeah, I guess he.
So
eventually did.
it's probably just a throwaway thing that's just, you know, a joke that it doesn't really matter. It's like, whatever. Then we find out that Yondu eventually came around and liked Christmas, and he gave, you know, Kid Quill the pair of blasters that he now uses.
It was so sweet.
That was a sweet, touching moment.
You know, the Grinch, his heart grew 3 times big because that was a son that he never had.
Right.
You know, and that's how Peter got his, got his blasters. It was so sweet.
That guy may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
That's a classic line.
That
And
was
made
such a
me-
good line.
That made me sad.
Of course. It was a very touching moment. And then Mantis tells Quill that they are technically half brother and sister, and Quill says that's the best Christmas present ever. Mm-hmm. That's something we knew, right, from the second movie.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I remember Mantis saying that, but she never told Quill until then.
Right, that she was his daughter, but that was never really given to Quill and the rest of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I kind of forgot it.
Yeah, same here.
So it was kind of nice to be reminded.
But they mentioned Gamora, like he's sad about Gamora still. Mm-hmm. But obviously she's going to be in the third one, and he's going to have to win her over again because this Gamora isn't in love with Peter Quill.
That's right. But she eventually does love him, I imagine.
Yeah, when are we going to see? we're you know, the thing, we're probably not going to see a trailer until like after Ant-Man.
Yeah, somewhere around there, I would imagine.
So maybe like March is when we'll see a trailer, because that's just how they do it now. You used to get like trailers a year.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes longer.
I remember the
Like a
Batman
year in
trailer
advance.
and the Dark Knight trailer, the Batman Superman trailer that came out way far in advance. It gets you really hyped. But yeah, you're right.
I think,
Nowadays, they kind of just spring them on you.
I'm pretty sure it was, what's the Will Smith vampire movie?
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's a Will Smith vampire movie coming out?
No, fucker, it's from like 2007.
Oh, I don't remember. I do not remember that. Thank God that was wiped from my memory.
You didn't see that?
No.
You didn't see the Will Smith I Am Legend?
Oh.
Oh, of course. I knew you were going to do this.
He's not a vampire.
Will Smith vampire movie?
No. They weren't vampires. They were like, they weren't the Walking Dead.
They were.
They weren't vampires.
Oh, they were vampires.
No.
Yes, they were.
No. I don't think they were vampires. Agree with me or disagree with me, guys.
But there's no argument, stupid. They're fucking vampires.
Do they say that they're vampires?
Yes.
I don't remember this.
Jesus.
But yes, I do remember I Am Legend.
It's an old book. It's the Omega Man. They're fucking vampires.
I didn't read the book.
Yeah, but if you did a little... I did the research, Josh. They're vampires. You don't have to do it for me.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure that's where the Dark Knight trailer came out, was the I Am Legend movie. And that was like a whole year in advance. I'm pretty sure it was that. I guess it was only like 6-7 months, because that came out in December. But I'm pretty sure it was that the first Dark Knight trailer premiered. Yeah, so it was December. And then Dark Knight came out, I think, June or July. So it was a 6-7 month in advance.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say about this? I pretty much...
Not really. There was a little tiny mid-credit scene where...
oh, that's right.
Where Groot and Rocket and Cosmo were also hanging like Christmas lights and stuff like that. And then Groot dropped them. And then Rocket was like, I guess this means they need another special.
Groot looked like a puppet or something.
Groot looked terrible. He looked terrible. He looked like he was in like a... Not a plastic. It just looked like a really bad.
Like someone was in a costume.
Yeah, like a Groot costume.
Maybe it was on purpose.
We can't afford extra CGI.
I can't
we
imagine.
blew all the budget for She-Hulk.
I can't imagine he's going to look like that in the movie.
I hope not. That was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough. But I don't think there's really much else to really tell about this movie. I mean, it was fun. I liked the Yondu bits. And that was pretty much about it.
Yeah. I would give it I mean, it's not a movie. It's not even a show. It's just like a thing. I don't even know if it's worth rating.
I don't know either.
But if I had to, I guess I would give it like a 6. Like
5.5.
It was okay.
It was 5.5, 6, something like that.
I wouldn't watch it again.
No. If you love Kevin Bacon, I mean, maybe this is a movie for you, but I don't even think...
He didn't do anything.
He ran away from people for a while, and then he sung. He sung to the audience.
Uh-huh. He sang.
Yeah.
All right, let's do fan questions. Kevin Key, was this the best of Phase 4 or what?
No.
No.
I guess it counts as Phase 4 technically, but...
Yeah, I would still.
Just
No,
barely.
it doesn't count as anything.
You don't think so?
I would still say Thor's my favorite.
Oh, for sure.
Well, movie. If we're count, I already did this last week, right? Loki
Right.
was number one for shows. That's obvious. But he says also, I think that being the holiday season, Josh's favorite movie of all time should be reviewed. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Josh.
It's a Wonderful Life. I'm down with that.
Jesus. What about the Nicolas Cage version?
There's a Nicolas Cage, It's a Wonderful Life?
Yes.
I
How
did
are you
not
so
know
like
this.
out of? Where are you?
Is there a
Where do you
Nicolas
live?
Cage? Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. He's gonna look it up and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, that."
No, I don't think I've ever seen this.
It's not called It's a Wonderful Life. I'm trying to remember the name now.
The Family Man?
The Family Man, yeah.
No, I did not see this.
You never saw it?
No.
It's the same premise.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's actually pretty good.
Oh.
I liked it. St. Lopez, do you think the reveal of Mantis being Star-Lord's sister is to give a bigger emotional connection to her because one of them is probably getting killed off in Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
I didn't think about that, but now that I did, God damn it, that's probably true.
Well, if it's Mantis, who gives a shit?
I don't know. Mantis is kind of cute. She's still learning human emotions.
Aw. I don't know. Well, I don't think we're getting another Guardians anyway after this. You know?
Well, they'll probably be attached with something else, I would think.
Maybe. Batista sounds like he's done, though.
I'm tired of putting
He's
on
done,
all this
so
goddamn
seems
makeup.
like Rocket's going to be dead. I think they're all finished. They're all going to die.
Go out in a blaze of glory.
Steven with a V, greetings from down under. I have movie trivia for Josh. The movie, The Rundown, featuring The Rock, was also released under a different title internationally. What was the other title?
Fuck if I know. No,
There's multiple choice.
okay, go ahead.
This is why you don't speak
Sorry.
until I point to you. Remember,
ahead.
that's our thing. Usually it's under the table. I
Sorry.
tap you on the leg.
I can talk now. Go ahead.
Okay. You remember the movie The Rundown?
I remember. This is a funny movie. What the fuck was that guy's name?
Sean
That was
William
it?
Scott.
Sean William Scott. Yeah, that's right.
So, A, Welcome to the Jungle. B, Rumble in the Jungle. C, Bungle in the Jungle.
It can't be Bungle in the Jungle. I'm gonna say Rumble in the Jumble. Rumble in the Jungle.
Rumble in the Josh's Jumble.
Rumble in the Jungle. Was that right?
No, it was Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, wow. They could say that. I would think that would be trademarked.
Not in fucking,
Australia, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
That's pretty funny.
Rumble in the Jumbles.
Oh my God.
Rumble in the Jungle sounds like it would be a pretty fun movie.
Omar says he misses the top 5 lists. Maybe we could do them in another fashion because a lot of fans just got annoyed with us reading lists for like 20 minutes. You know? Maybe
Bring back lists once a
maybe
month.
we could do a poll every week and have fans vote on something.
Maybe.
And then give the results. Rampager, top 4 movies that involve aliens. So Independence Day.
Number 1.
Men in Black.
Number
2. Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Prey. That was really good.
I don't know if that's going to be in the top 4, though.
I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head. What are some other good alien movies?
Aliens?
Ah.
Nah.
Nah.
Movies with aliens.
Independence
Trying to think
Day,
off the top
Men
of my
in
head.
Black.
I liked Arrival, but I don't think that would be in the top 4 either. Oh, Edge of Tomorrow. Fuck yes. Edge of Tomorrow. You never saw Edge of Tomorrow?
I remember that. That was with Tommy Cruise.
Tommy Cruise. Yeah. Avatar.
Ooh, District 9 was good.
District 9 was good. Yeah, I'm going to say Edge of Tomorrow is number 3.
Starship Troopers is always good.
Yeah. Super 8, that was all right. I'm going to stick with 3.
Star Wars. Jesus Christ.
Does that count?
Damn it. Those are all aliens.
They're all, that's true.
Does Superman count? He's an alien.
All right.
How deep are we getting into this list?
All right. Well, we got enough name there.
But certainly Independence Day is the top of that list. The tippy top.
Yeah. Alec, just listened to the Dawn of the Dead review and think you guys might like Black Summer on Netflix. Crazy chase scenes, only 8 episodes a season. Season 2 is better than season 1. I don't even know what that is, but I guess it's about zombies.
It's on to season 3 already. Black Summer, set in the Z Nation universe.
Yeah.
The series follows a crack team of special forces as it fights for the hope in the darkest hours of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, if I had time to watch everything, then
yeah.
I'd be
At the moment, we're behind as it is. I'm still watching Andor. Andor's really, really good, by the way.
How many episodes in are you?
3 episodes in. They just wrapped up the season finale last week.
Okay.
So, oh my God, we didn't even talk about the Walking Dead finale.
I don't want to talk about
Jesus Christ, that
It
was the
was
worst
fucking
thing I've seen
terrible.
this year. Oh my God, that was She-Hulk levels of bad, Andrew. That might have been worse than She-Hulk, to be honest. Oh my God, I'm so happy I stopped watching The Walking Dead, so I didn't have to get through with all these characters and all this bullshit. That was god awful.
It was so fucking bad.
Terrible.
I don't want to necessarily spoil anything because people weren't expecting it, but like at one point Daryl says The Walking Dead and it was such a forced and I just fucking wanted to throw up. Like it was so bad.
He said that and I was like, oh no, come on.
The dialogue was just fucking cringe. And it's an hour and a half and it's just an hour and a half of crying. Everyone's crying. Cry. Oh no, they're dead. I'm dead.
And then you get the miraculous save after a character almost gets eaten by zombies, only to reveal after she miraculously escapes, of course, she succumbed to a bite.
That's so bad. Mills, I recommend watching 4 sci-fi movies just to see your reactions. Pandorum, Ghost of Mars, Event Horizon, and Upgrade. I have not seen
Ghost
any of those.
Mars sounds familiar.
Yeah. John, what would be your top 5 movie or TV directors? I mean, movie directors.
I've seen Ghost of Mars.
I think we did this list.
Ghost of Mars? Is that ring a
No.
bell? No.
Didn't we do a director list?
I don't know if we did a director list, but
Tarantino,
I'm sure Tarantino,
Scorsese.
Yeah, exactly.
Christopher Nolan are my top 3. I really like Tim Miller lately. He did the Deadpools. He did Bullet Train.
Right.
He's not in my top 5, but like just like right now, I'm David Fincher, Fight Club,
Fight Club,
Seven, and Social Network.
Yeah, those are good ones. A lot of drama.
The Rizzler. My 2 kids got the TV on Christmas movies 24/7. Don't think there's anything better than the 90s Christmas movies and earlier. Can't think of a Christmas movie made in the past 15 years remotely decent. Think of it all garbage and cheese.
Yeah, I can't think of one either.
Christmas Vacation. We could do that.
That's
a great one. You've seen that one, right?
I've seen that. I think Jingle All the Way might be one of my favorites.
Well, I think we already
movies?
agreed we're gonna do that one.
We have to.
Yeah.
Jingle all the way. I'm just looking for Turbo Man doll.
Turbo Man.
Yeah, get ready for that podcast where I just do Arnold's voice the entire show.
I'll do Sinbad.
Oh, God. Pop Culture Junkie. Not sure if you are fans of the original Christmas Story movie, but I just watched the sequel over the weekend.
Oh, that's right.
A Christmas Story Christmas, and found it to be surprisingly enjoyable. Any plans on Classic having any Christmas films being reviewed in December? Yeah.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
I never really liked A Christmas Story. That was not one of my favorites. My favorite was It's a Wonderful Life. That was my classic Christmas movie.
And my classic was Jingle All the Way. Yeah. And Christmas Vacation. I love Christmas Vacation.
There you go.
So yeah, there you go. That's all for fan questions. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you're viewing us. You can follow us on YouTube, Hollywood Hogwash Pod. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod. And next week we got a new film, Violent Night, starring David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Next week?
He plays Santa Claus, and he fucking murders everyone, including John Leguizamo, and he deserves it.
He does. Yeah.
So we'll see you next week. Hopefully that's good.